Um, we'll get back to the NFL in just a few minutes. Felt the need to take a break from the NFL and a talk about LeBron James and what he spoke about yesterday. Obviously, yesterday was media day for most teams in the NBA, if not all of them. I mean, season's getting ready to start in less than a month or so. And the Cleveland Cavaliers are the reigning defending NBA champions, courtesy of LeBron James and the greatness that he's religiously and continuously put on display. He was asked yesterday, however, not about basketball, but he was asked about whether or not he would indeed follow Colin Kaepernick's lead and sit for the national anthem. He was asked about how he felt about what Colin Kaepernick had decided to do. And he also took the time to talk to us about his concerns involving his own children. Before I tap into all of that and get into exactly what LeBron James had to say to the media yesterday and ultimately the masses, I want y'all to see for yourself what LeBron James, or hear for yourself what LeBron James had to say. This is LeBron James on whether or not he would sit for the national anthem. Take it away, Nuno.
Speak upon it. Me standing for the national anthem is something I will do. That's who I am. That's what I believe in. But that doesn't mean I don't respect and don't agree with what Colin Kaepernick is doing. You have the right to voice your opinion, stand for your opinion, and he's doing it in the most peaceful way I've ever seen someone do something. You see these videos that continue to come out. It's a scary situation that if my son calls me and said he's been pulled over, that I'm not that confident that things are going to go well and my son is going to return home. And my son just started the 6th grade.
LeBron James did not stop there. He started talking about his son after expressing his opinions about Colin Kaepernick. And listen to what concerns he expressed, having a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, sons actually, and a 2-year-old daughter. Actually, we don't have that sound, but I'll paraphrase. LeBron James highlighted how his son was 4 years removed from ultimately getting in a car and driving, ultimately having the potential exist in his life to get pulled over by police officers, expressing the concerns that he had because of that. He reminded the world that all lives matter and that the violence needs to stop, and that somehow we need to come together as a people and do what we can to alleviate the insidious behavior and the actions of rogue individuals willing to break the law and bring harm to other human beings in our society. He talked about how we needed to do that to the best of our ability. Now, if you know anything about me, just a few weeks ago, I went off because Cam Newton of the Carolina Panthers had done an interview with ESPN's very own Trey Wingo. An interview in which Cam Newton brought up 1/8 of an inch of skin. It dictates how folks behave because you strip that away and we're all the same. And I talked about how utterly ridiculous those comments were. How if Cam Newton wasn't going to say anything, why do the damn interview? How we have entirely too many individuals out there who have zero heart. Everything's about protecting their brand. Everything's about protecting their careers, even after they've collected tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, and how nauseating that is. In the aftermath of all of that, while not conceding that I was wrong, because I wasn't, I did learn a different perspective about Cam Newton and what he's had to deal with, and how he's damned if he does and he's damned if he does not. And then I started thinking about the ESPYs, and CP3 and Carmelo and Dwayne Wade and LeBron James, and how they opened the ESPYs, and how although I was incredibly proud of them for being the conscientious, upstanding brothers that they are, I also lamented the fact that on far too many occasions, as a society, not just of minority individuals, but of high-profile, successful minority individuals, we find ourselves incredibly reluctant to take a position where we're taking sides and we're demanding or asking somebody else to take sides. Because to me, the epitome, the definition of a protest is standing up and expressing a willingness to say something is wrong, something is right, and that is that, regardless of what the hell anybody thinks. That is what a protest is to me, which is why even though I would not have sat down for the national anthem myself, I certainly respected the right of Colin Kaepernick to do so, admired him for it, and completely defended him for it. Having said all of that, while still gathering an understanding of Cam Newton, while still appreciating the tenuous positions marquee professional athletes could ultimately find themselves in and being conscientious observers on behalf of the communities they come from. Taking all of that into consideration, I want to take a moment to highlight why LeBron James, of all people, is the one individual amongst a bevy of professional athletes in this nation who must be judged differently and should be judged differently. LeBron James is the best basketball player on the planet. It's just the truth. But you know something? To be the best basketball player on the planet, to be in a position to ultimately become that billionaire he aspires to become, to make the money that he's making, to be the global iconic brand that he is, I got to give credit where credit is due. Who amongst us can definitively say that LeBron James doesn't stand for something? When Donald Sterling was caught on tape spewing his racial rhetoric, was it not LeBron James who spoke up and insisted he had to go, that this league has no place for somebody like that? When Trayvon Martin got shot by that wannabe cop, Mr. Zimmerman, was it not LeBron James, D. Wade, Ray Allen, Chris Bosh, and the Miami Heat who stood in their hoodies to symbolize that you can't judge a book by its cover? When Eric Garner got strangled, was it not LeBron James that was one of those people with the Derrick Roses of the world and even the Kobe Bryants of the world and others following, wearing T-shirts that donned the words "hands up"? Was that not them? Is it not LeBron James who's an officer with the National Basketball Players Association under his president, Chris Paul, who's one of his best friends and the godfather to his children? And so when we take that into consideration, let's ask ourselves this last question. Is it not LeBron James, through the LeBron James Family Foundation, that's committed to putting more than 1,000 kids through college? In concert with the University of Akron? Was that not LeBron James? Is it not LeBron James who's executive producing television shows, employing black folks on the Stars Network and beyond? Doesn't he have a show out called Cleveland Hustle, where it's talking about aspiring entrepreneurs and facilitating opportunities for them? Is that not this same LeBron James? I had one friend of mine this morning who's not the biggest fan in the world of LeBron James saying, "Come on, Stephen A., come on, man. Yeah, he does all of that stuff, but he's still making money. It's a tax write-off." Wait a minute. He doesn't need the tax write-off to make the millions he's making. He's still making money. He's still set for the rest of his life. His generation is still set for generations to come. He doesn't have to do this. I've pledged hundreds of thousands of dollars to my alma mater. You think I'm not going to try to write something off? I pay taxes every 2 weeks on my paycheck. You think I don't look for a loophole? Does that strip me of my generosity? or a whole host of other individuals out there who are willing to give up their time, their energy, their effort, and their money to make the world a better place for so many other people. What athlete do you know has done that better than LeBron James in the modern era? I don't have the greatest relationship with LeBron James. I think he's a bit sensitive at times. And I think that me being somebody who is interested in disseminating the truth to my listeners and viewers, if you play like garbage, I'm going to say so. You play great, I'm going to say that too. And sometimes I think he's been a bit sensitive to that. Is he cordial? Always. Is he respectful? Always. Do I vibe with him like I do with AI and Shaq and D-Wade and a host of other players around the league? Hell no. Is it going to change me? Not one bit. I'm going to call it like I see. I don't give a damn. You play like garbage? I'm going to call it. You play great? I'm going to call that too. But what you will never hear me fail to acknowledge and to recognize is what an incredible and wonderful role model LeBron James is. He's a good brother. Kevin Durant got problems with me. He's a good brother. Lord knows what kind of problems Steph Curry has with me because of his wife getting mad at me because of what I had to say during the finals. He's a good brother. She's a wonderful woman. I don't know too many professional athletes better than Dwayne Wade as a person. Carmelo Anthony's been my man for 13 years. It's because I call it like I see it when it comes to your on-court exploits. That doesn't give me a license to recognize what beautiful human beings these guys are and what pillars of our community somebody like LeBron James is. This brother's affecting lives in a positive way every single day. His good deeds far outweigh his bad. And I just say all of that to say that while we'll watch him this year, and some will root for him and others will root against him, on the basketball court, please understand that when it comes to him off the court, you salute this man. You honor this man. You respect this man. Because the things that he does, the things that he speaks on, the things that he says, the positions that he takes, he doesn't have to do that. And if you look at our professional athletes historically, very few, particularly those close to his kind of stature, ever elected to do the things that he does. And on this day, I just wanted to give him praise and thank him for the special man that he is to all of us in sports and beyond. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show on Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. LeBron ain't perfect, but for a professional athlete, he's pretty damn close.